The de facto leader of Samsung, the giant conglomerate, Samsung, that man sentenced to 5 years in prison for his role in a corruption scandal. This is the same scandal that brought down South Korea's previous president. Joining us now is Ambassador John Bolton, former ambassador to the United Nations. Mr. Ambassador, this comes in the middle of this standoff between North and South Korea, America and China. Does the whole thing affect that international incident?
Well, I think it's having an effect on politics in South Korea, and so certainly it could have an effect on the larger strategic picture. I mean, specifically, the bribery that this billionaire was convicted of involved the president herself and bribes to her sort of strange advisor that led to the president being impeached and forced from office. So you've already seen demonstrations in various South Korean cities by supporters of the former president. And I think this thing is going to get more complicated. It's far from over.
Is it clear which side, is it clear if there are candidates for the presidency, the former president is out, there'll be a new one coming in. Is it clear what their policies and how they differ, whether they're more pro-America or more pro-China? How does that work out?
Well, the new president who succeeded President Park, President Moon, is very much harkens back to the sunshine policies of Kim Dae-jung about 15 years ago, and those proved very difficult for the United States. There's this naive, is the most polite way to describe it, view that North Korea is not threatening. I think President Moon, as some people sometimes write about, Washington is growing in office. He's seen the North Korean threat increase. He's hearing from President Trump and U.S. military officials. He's accepted THAAD anti-missile systems, where he originally appeared inclined to give them up. But nonetheless, his view of North Korea as somebody you can negotiate with, apparently he's persuaded Secretary of State Tillerson. So I'm very much afraid we're back where we were a year and a half ago in the Obama administration.
Oh, dear. I've got this one for you, Mr. Ambassador. I'm sure you know this, and I'm coming right at you with it. The mayor of Venice, here's a warning for potential terrorists. He says snipers will shoot anyone who shouts Allahu Akbar. In reaction to that, sir?
Well, they better hope they can swim, I suppose. You know, that's over the top. But I do think what it reflects is that Europe, at least some political leaders in Europe, are beginning to sense that the terrorist threat is going to have an impact on them. Not only their own citizens, obviously, but in a city like Venice, like Barcelona, heavily dependent on tourism, there's going to be an economic impact here. Just, you have to wonder what it will take, how many tragedies are necessary to get the broader political leadership in Europe to wake up to this continuing, I would say, growing, more menacing terrorist threat.
That's extraordinary. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Always appreciate it.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yes, sir.